In this video, we will demonstrate the Freestyle Basic with the SPE module. The SPE module consists of two parts: the robotic arm, which is mounted as a second Z-axis, and the control unit. Let's have a closer look at the robotic arm. Here are some particularly interesting details to be observed. The Freestyle SPE can grip a whole variety of columns, using customized adapters without the need of mechanical changes to the system. The second Z-axis enables the gripping of different SPE columns between 1 and 15 milliliters, made from either plastic or glass. Iminu affinity columns are filled with a storage buffer. To prevent drying out, the buffer should remain in the column until just before its use. The Freestyle system accepts columns with the lid on. A needle, which is integrated in the gripper, pierces even the thickest of lids. The buffer is pushed out of the column, leaving it ready for use. In one swift move, the gripper grasps the column, the mechanics seal the column, and the integrated needle pierces the lid, for example, of an Iminu affinity column. Now the column can be conditioned and loaded with a sample, washed, and eluted, for example, into containers or into the evaporation chamber. Of particular interest are the following details. The column is firmly connected with the robotic arm, hence the positive pressure of the injection pump. Sample and solvents are dosed very precisely in a controlled manner via the SPE column. Drying also happens with positive pressure using nitrogen. The robotic system has two Z-axes. Each moves independently of the other. The needle sucks up one sample into the sample loop and transfers it via SPE column into a second container. A typical configuration in sample preparation for the determination of the mineral oil hydrocarbon index. For the quantitative transfer of a sample, the sample container can be rinsed highly efficiently and loaded into the SPE column. In that way, nothing will be lost. The short distance between injection point and column or needle, respectively, means a comparatively small dead volume. Hence, with minimum rinsing effort, you can quickly switch between different solvents. All sample wetted parts will be rinsed, leaving no residues. The SPE gripper is also included in the rinsing process. The uniqueness of the system becomes also evident in the elution process. You can elute from one column with one solvent into another container, or from one column with one solvent into many containers. Or from one column with many solvents into many containers. Or from one column with many solvents into one container. Particularly handy is this function for direct elution into the evaporation chamber. Evaporation, for example with nitrogen, and a solvent exchange round off the automation process. We also considered your safety. For example, the robot will immediately stop in case of a collision. This is shown on screen. Once the obstacle is removed, confirm on the computer and the motion can continue. The precise mechanics have been paired with powerful software. For ease of use, the software is separated into two parts. Part 1 is for your everyday routine work. Here, the main emphasis lies on easy operation and the quick setup of a sample sequence. Part 2 is for the area of method setup. This mimics the manual sequence of establishing a method and is detailed in such a way that even complex procedures are displayed in a simple manner. Here's how to set up a method quickly. As you know, in your daily routine, you can select complete processing steps. Copy these into a second column via drag and drop, and you'll find the structure of the method is set up. Now the processing step can be modified in more detail and adapted to an already existing method, which can also become more optimized. Save and call up your new method at any time. The software for your daily routine is so easy to use that even lesser experienced staff will be able to confidently handle and process samples fast and error-free. And this is the processing sequence. Place the samples into the device. Select in the software the method for these samples. And start processing. Done. More than 40 different racks can be freely combined with the Freestyle system. Each rack with different sample containers. Depending on the actual load, up to 180 samples can be automatically processed in one go, using only one platform. Some competitors advertise 50 or more platforms. Freestyle has got only one, on which you can freely combine all racks available. You can change it, or change it again, to whatever is required at any one time. For example, you may wish to use temperature-controlled racks. The flexibility of the system also applies to the SPE columns. You only need one rack type for all SPE columns up to 15 milliliters. Customizing is done by using adapters. The racks are fitted in no time and are logged into the software with only a few mouse clicks. The Freestyle SPE Automated Sample Preparation by LC Tech.